Pi Day. Sometimes in life, really stressful things are gonna happen. Things are not gonna go exactly how you planned them every single time, but just focus on the positives. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariely Sanchez and I'm a 4th grade teacher in South Florida, and happy Pi Day. So yes, today is March 14, which are the first 3 digits in pi, 3.14, and we have a lot of different pi related activities in store for the students today. Some of it is related to the mathematical symbol of pi, and some of it is related to the homophone of pi, which is the pie that we all eat. And I can't wait to share all of that with you, and I know you may have noticed something different about me, but these are actually my old glasses. I have glasses, I just don't wear them all the time because my doctor had told me years ago that I didn't have to. It's just whenever my vision got tired from looking at the screen and so forth to put them on. But lately I've been noticing my vision is changing, so I decided to put them on, especially since this morning I kind of felt a little nauseous and a little like lightheaded, so I didn't know if that was related to this. All I can tell you is once I put them on, I haven't felt that way for the rest of the day. So right now, yeah, I'm coming to you during our special. I'm going to pick up the students now from PE, but I will definitely show you all the different pi related activities that we have in store for today. So I'll check back with you later, but before I go, I did wear one of my math shirts today. This one comes from Lipstick and Littles, and it says, "I teach kids mathemagic." I don't have a pi shirt, and this was the next best thing because it is a math shirt. All right, so I'm definitely now going, and I'll see you soon.
Dear Tim and Moby, what is pi anyway? From Robin. Your question is one that ancient mathematicians and engineers puzzled over for thousands of years.
Pi is a symbol that represents the ratio of a circle circumference. 3.14, pi, 3.14.
Now, it's obvious that a circle's circumference would get smaller or larger along with its diameter, but the relationship goes further than that. In fact, the ratio between the two, the circumference divided by the diameter, will always be the same number, no matter how big or small the circle gets.
Hello everyone, it's now the end of the day, and I'm just gonna say, Pi Day did not go as planned, but that's the reality of things, and I wanna be keeping it real with you. I did get so stressed out at the end because I was running out of time, and I just didn't have enough time to cut the pie to give it to the students. Now, we did have time for them to write their haikus, or at least start, or a lot of them were able to finish, and I'll show you a couple of those examples. You saw a couple of clips of the students working on those, and they really loved it. Some of them wanted to do multiple ones, and I told them that we could do it next week as part of our morning do now if they wanted to write multiple haikus. So that was great. After that, they started doing their circumference activity with the pies. Well, first they started with their cookie. So they got their cookie, and we were able to measure the diameter with a ruler, which I also included a couple of clips for you to see. And then we multiplied the diameter times pi. And then we compared that number to actually taking a yarn around the cookie and then putting that yarn next to a ruler to measure the centimeters to see if those numbers were close to the one that we got with figuring out with pi. And they saw that that was cool. Now, we didn't finish that because I was looking at the time, and then I started trying to cut the pies. I got to cut the chocolate pie and the key lime pie, but not the apple pies. And then we had a few minutes before dismissal, so I said, okay, we can't do this right now. I ended up having Miss Guzman pass out the ice cream cups so that they could eat their ice cream at least. And they did eat their cookie. So they got cookie and they got vanilla ice cream. And then tomorrow what we'll do is right before lunch, I'll cut the pies and they can have their pie. And it's okay if they eat pie on the day after Pi Day. That is fine. At least they understood the concept of why March 14th is Pi Day. What is pi? How do we use pi with circles? How are they related? So we did do a lot of that. So I'm just going to focus on the positives because I was being hard on myself because I was thinking I didn't get to do the pi thing, but it's all right. All right. But right now we're going to sit down with Miss Guzman and do reflection time with Miss Guzman because tomorrow she has a very important meeting at the university and won't be in the classroom. So let's sit down now, have a little chat, and I'll see you when we're done.
Hello and welcome to Reflection Time with Miss Guzman.
She did it! Oh my God, I love it!
I've heard it now so many times, it just clicks.
I love it. It's so awesome. Yay. Pi Day.
Well, that went well. No, it did. I really liked it. I liked about that. And seeing how you use it in so many things. Like,
yeah, because one of the things that I didn't show in the video is the TED Ed talk, or it's not a talk, but the TED Ed video, and it showed all the different ways that pi is used, which was pretty cool. I'll link it down below so you can check it out. But yeah, they got to learn about pi and why it's important. It's not just figuring out the circumference of a circle. It's used for so much more.
yeah. And I thought that was really cool, the contest that people participate in.
Yeah, like there's a contest and how many people can actually say all the numbers of pi and how many digits they can get to. And I think the person that has said it the most is in the 60-something thousand from memory. I'm like, how? That's a lot of numbers.
Yeah.
You really have to be creative and thinking up like some kind of pattern or strategy to remember all those series of numbers. So that's a lot of numbers.
Maybe
but that
those
was
people
interesting.
Maybe those people have photographic memory.
They probably
or
do.
something.
They probably do. You're right. Apologies for that. An alarm went off on my phone and that turned off the camera.
Okay.
But I was gonna tell Ms. Guzman to share about her week because she had a really good couple of lessons that she did this week. And I mentioned earlier in my other vlog that it was the last time I observed you for her program. So I have to do 4 observations. And this week I did her 4th observation.
I
So
couldn't believe that. She couldn't believe that.
I couldn't believe it. Like time passed by so quickly.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Again. All right. For the math lesson, I think we did the patterns in measurement units, like finding the relationship between number pairs. That was pretty easy for them. I mean,
It was.
If they saw 1 and 36 and you know that's yards to inches, like, you know. Like, if they really understood everything else in the chapter, they were able to
For
figure
sure.
it out.
For sure.
So that was a breeze. But then for science, I did my first science lesson, like full science lesson. That was fun. And that's the one that she observed me in. And we did, I think you guys saw a clip earlier this week about the dominoes lined up. And then that was on the spot, by the way. I was not planning on having them count down. I thought I was going to have more time to line up the dominoes, and halfway through, some of them fell. I'm just like, you know what? And then right there, I'm like, okay, countdown. And they counted down, and it was perfect. It was perfect because I got them excited, and I was like, okay, worked out.
Yeah, no, they had so much fun looking at that and how it went from potential energy to kinetic energy.
To sound energy.
Yes, that was really good.
A bunch of stuff. So that was fun.
You had them do the ball with the ramp. And they were timing how fast the ball was traveling down the ramp according to how many textbooks they were stacking and making the ramp steeper.
Yeah, that was that. They got to use a worksheet to record their data that I made and just copied from the science textbook. And oh, they also got to see roller coaster videos.
Yes, which you have to share with me those links because I told them about it, but I didn't pay attention to what the websites were because I want to be able to share that with the subscribers if they're interested in the roller coaster simulation. That was really cool.
I think it's PBS. It's
on
PBS.
Nice.
I'm not sure, but I think, and I'll let you know.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It'll be down below.
But yeah, and it's a really good video because it shows how the potential energy converts into kinetic energy, and it shows it through a graph. It's very good. And it shows them too that energy is not destroyed. It just transforms into one or the other.
Yep.
And they got to see a roller coaster video from Universal Studios that I am terrified to go on.
I've been on it multiple times. Rip Ride Rockit. So I love it. Like that's the one that you start and then you go in a 90-degree angle up. And then when you get to the top, you start going all around the roller coaster. While you're listening to whatever song you picked before the roller coaster started, I usually pick Limp Bizkit's Rolling. Hands over, hands down, back up. Sorry, I'm done. All right. Now, a beautiful thing happened with this whole energy lessons that we were doing. The writing that we did in the classroom this week dealt with the forces that make paragliders and hang gliders work. So we talked about lift, we talked about gravity, moving the paraglider or hang gliding forward, and then we talked about drag. So
it was awesome.
It's like the universe aligned to connect everything together. So we did a lot of science this week, even though we were reading and we were writing. And then, of course, in the science class, they were doing the labs and doing all those demonstrations. So that was a good week with that. See, we got to focus on the positive. Okay, so they didn't get to eat pie today. Okay, whoop-de-doo. They got to learn. They had fun. They learned some new concepts. We hit the standards. And that's what we got to focus on. At the end of the day, yeah, I was kind of down that I didn't get to do everything I wanted to do. But focus on the positives. Step back and think, what did you do today that was a glow?
Yes. And you did a lot. You did a lot.
We did do a lot. And sometimes I forget that. But there it is.
Oh, and you changed your seats.
I did change the seating arrangement, which is in the previous vlog. And yeah, the students came in this morning. They found their names on the Post-its. And then I started telling them where they were going to sit. I actually projected the new seating chart on the board so they have an idea. They got an opportunity to clean out their desks because some of them use it to store a multiple, a variety, a plethora of different things. I am a big Marvel fan and I love the movie Guardians of the Galaxy, and in one of them they talk about nowhere, which is actually a place where all these different things collect. So I actually said a lot of you have turned your desk into nowhere. And one of the students goes, I did that.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah, they know. When you say it, they know.
But now I'm looking around, at least the ones that I can see from this angle, and they look pretty organized and clean. So let's see how long that stays.
Hopefully a long time.
I hope so, because I don't plan on changing these desks again until it's testing time, which is in like 3 weeks. I have to put them all in rows in order to test for the writing test. So, and then after we are done with the writing test, they'll go back to like the clusters or whatever classroom arrangement I have, because I only do the rows for testing. And once we're done with testing, they go back to how they were. And since we're not going to test again for another month, there's no use in keeping them in rows. Yeah. So when it comes time for May 1st, which is our next test after April 3rd, which is our writing test is on April 3rd, we have reading on May 1st and 2nd, and then the following week, Monday, Tuesday, we have math, which is May 6th and 7th, and then we're done.
Yay.
I know. I can't wait. I do a lot of projects, a lot of project-based learning after the FSA in order to prep them for 5th grade and get them ready for what they're going to start working on in the following grade level. So I always look forward to that time. I feel like I have more flexibility and ability to be more creative. Not that I'm not creative now, but I don't have to worry about, are they ready for this assessment? So
yeah. I bet that's stressful.
It's very stressful, which is why I'm probably getting a headache right now, but I'm gonna have a great weekend.
You are.
So any other things that you want to share, tips, growing moments?
I always like for science to get them curious about the topic, and I don't like to make them feel bad about them asking questions, which is why I really like the KWL chart that I use, because I told them sometimes they'll ask a question and another student will be like, but that's not, why are you asking that? That's not true. And I tell them, if you hear that, don't worry. I'm paying attention to you. I'm going to type out the question anyways. like there were some questions that were off topic and I had to tell them, okay, focus on energy. But overall, like I think it's important to get them, to allow them to feel free to ask questions, any type of questions. And even if in the K part, I tell them that they can say something that they know or what they think they know, which is something I learned at FIU, because sometimes they may think they know something, but either way you'll figure it out when you do the L part, which is the learned. So it's okay if they are not sure of something, still put it, because they'll see if they're right or wrong at the end.
That's right. And it's important to establish that to the students, that it should be a safe environment where they can feel comfortable sharing their answers or their questions, no matter what it is, because we're here to learn and try, and it's okay to make mistakes because mistakes are proof we're trying. I know it's very cliche because I have it in my pillow there, I have it in a sign over there by my window, but it's true. Yeah. And this should be a safe place to make mistakes and ask questions and just try. That's basically it. Yeah. All right, so she has one more observation to go next week, not by me, but by her supervisor. It'll be her final evaluation from him, and for her final exam and the final observation that he's gonna do. And she also has a lot of assignments to get done as well. So I know she's also stressed. So I'm stressed, she's stressed. We all need a great weekend. Yeah.
I just want to be done with homework and just teach and like do like write out outlines of what I want to teach and stuff. Like I still want to be prepared when I teach a lesson, but I don't want to have to like write these
no, like a long 13-page report. It's not 13 pages.
Like it takes me an hour to write one lesson or something. Like it's a lot.
I can understand that, because you are literally scripting everything you are going to do before, during, and after. Yes. Yeah, I remember being there. It doesn't last though. Yeah. So you just have to go through this little bit
this little way. Like
for a lifetime of not having to worry about long-winded lesson plans.
Yeah. I've done it for so long. It's just this week, and like that's it.
Right. That's it.
Tiny push.
It'll be done. We're all looking forward to spring break. So we have one more week to go next week, a full 5-day school week, and then we have spring break. Yay. So looking forward to it. And then we come back, we're gonna do some fun activities right before the writing test, and then we get back to it, because our plan is to finish the math textbook pretty soon. I don't think we're going to maybe make it to our goal of finishing it right before spring break, but I think we can finish it like first week of April.
Pretty close.
Yeah, or we're gonna get pretty close, because there's about maybe 5 lessons in chapter 13. They're gonna take their chapter 12 test possibly on Monday. So we'll have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and next week Friday to work in chapter 13. And some of those lessons we can combine. So that'll work. Yeah. All right. Very exciting things happening. So tomorrow I am going to be here for half a day. She won't be here. And that'll be it. That's our week. I hope you've enjoyed reflection time with Miss Guzman.
You're so funny.
You're so funny too.
We're both wearing glasses today.
Yes, because you know I shared this earlier. My vision is acting up, but now we're twinsies with glasses. So I hope everything is well wherever you are, and we'll see you next week to sign up for spring break.
Yay!
See you next time.
Bye.
All right, so I'm actually getting ready to head on out in a few minutes. But before I go, I wanted to show you the Coup activity as well as the Enemy Pie book that we read and the little learning log that the students started working with that goes along with Enemy Pie, which was one of our reading lessons for today. And I also want to share the math sheet that I created so that the students can record the circumference of the circles of the pie and the cookie that we were working on. Talking about pies and cookies, these are the pies. I'll show you right now. I couldn't show you the cookies, but I got the cookies, the chocolate chunk cookies from Costco. They're delicious. So those are the cookies that we used. And now I'm going to show you the pies. So here are the different pies that I got at Publix. This is just regular apple pie. This is Dutch apple pie. And then I also got them in the small pies. So the same of each so that we could measure the circumference of the circles. Now because these are the same circumference, I only measured this one and this one for our sheet, but these are the pies. We're gonna cut them up tomorrow. And then this is the chocolate pie that I got from Marie Callender's. It's actually in here in the cooler. And along with the big chocolate pie, there's also a small chocolate pie in here, which is in here. Oh, this is the leftover ice cream. And this is the little pie. Let me just open it up so that you can see. This is how it comes. Look how cute that is. It's so cute and tiny. But this is the same chocolate pie, and we'll measure that one as well. And over here, I also got a small key lime pie. That's the chocolate pie. And underneath the chocolate pie, I also have a large key lime pie from Publix. And it looks messy because I was already cutting it. The same with the chocolate pie. But like I said, I'm going to take these home, put them in my refrigerator, bring them back tomorrow in this cooler with ice and ice packs. And we'll eat pie after the students finish their timed writing task tomorrow. So that is the pie. That wasn't eaten today, but definitely will be eaten tomorrow. We used yarn as a way to get the circumference around and then measure that piece of yarn to see if it was the same as what we got when we multiplied the diameter times pi. And this is the math sheet that I was talking about that I gave to the students. So basically they find the diameter in centimeters. Then we use the formula for determining the circumference, and then we use the yarn to compare and see if it was close. Again, it's not going to be an exact number, but it's close enough that we can work with it. And we didn't have time for the chocolate pie or the small chocolate pie. That is pie filling right there on that sheet of paper. But we will do that tomorrow since I'm bringing the pie back tomorrow so the students can go ahead and eat it. And here's my cookie still. Basically, I was measuring it with a little ruler and then multiplying that times pi. And in order to make it a little quicker, we were actually using a calculator to multiply the decimal times whatever measurement we were able to measure. And then I used the string to put around the cookie and then put the string along a ruler to determine if it was the same as this number that we got from the formula. So that is basically the math lesson that we did today, which is great because we've been working with measurements, so it tied it all in. Now for reading, we read Enemy Pie by Derek Munson. This is a great story, and here is a little learning log that the students received to go over the reading skills. We did a quick write, and then we did the prediction using inference. And after we did this, we read the book. Now, I didn't get to read it to them out loud, but I did have the book here so that we could look at the cover. But I'm going to show you how I had the students read the book in the classroom. It's super cool. And now the students are going to make sure that they finish these sections, which go over vocabulary. They get to readjust their prediction. They get to answer these comprehension questions. Then they're going to complete this theme graphic organizer so that they can discover what the message of the story is. Then they're going to create a top list of 10 rules for how to be a good friend or to be a friend. And on the back, they're going to create a wanted poster for showing the qualities of a best friend. So that is the activity that I did today with my students for Pi Day as it relates to reading. Now let me show you the website that I used for the students to read the book. The website that I use to have the students read the book is called Tumble Books, and my district actually has access to this for us. So I just logged in and played the book for them. So let me show you that right now. So now that I'm logged in, I found the book. I just did a quick search for it. And then when I click on the book, it starts playing it for me. So it'll play really quickly. Watch.
It should have been a perfect summer. My dad helped me build a treehouse in our backyard.
So basically, this is Tumble Books, and it just reads the book for the kids, or you can just have it on manual instead of auto, and the students can read it themselves. But this is how I played it for my students, and it progressed through the story automatically, and it has a few animations with the illustration, but it reads the entire book to the students. Now, the other thing that they have available is they also have games that go along with the book, quizzes, lesson plans, and even a book report. So I really love that we have access to TumbleBooks, and I was able to use it today with my students for our reading Pi lesson. Now here is the Pi Coup activity that I made for the students. This is my example. And these are the instructions that I put up here. The instructions are down here, but I gave them a little bit of background as to what Pi was. And basically after that, I introduced them to the Pi Coup, which is similar to our haiku. I gave them 2 examples, and then I created a new one. And I told them that in the outer circle, that's where they draw the illustrations that go along with their Pi Coup. So I did this one, and then another student was trying to write one about math, but was struggling a little bit. So I told her that, hey, I'll try to write one because that sounds like fun, and you can write a Pi Coup on any topic. So I wrote this Pi Coup on math, and I decided to make it funny. So math needs help with many problems. So I went ahead and I designed it with different math symbols and mathematical shapes to go along with it. And what the students do, once they have their Pi Coup written, they draw their illustrations, they color it all up, and then they can cut the outer circle out so that it's just a circle. And why a circle? Because pi is related to circles. So let me show you a few of the ones that the students finished. Here's one, beautiful spring cherry blossoms, and I love the use of color here. How beautiful is that? So that is another one that I wanted to show you. And here is another one. I have a lot of students that love Fortnite, and I'm sure a lot of you do as well. And I love this Fortnite time, cool, epic win time. So that is really neat. And basically, again, a Pi Coup is the first line has 3 syllables, the second line has 1, and the fourth line has 4 syllables, so 3, 1, 4, the 3 digits of pi. So those are the little bit of examples that I wanted to show you. And then when everyone finishes, I'll be able to display them and maybe give you an overall view of how they all look. Now for writing this morning, we continued with our hang gliders and paragliders topic for the informative essay. And we finished gathering our evidence from the paraglider article. And yesterday we continued writing our first body paragraph, which we finished somewhere around here where we wrote, on the other hand, paragliders have. So we continued writing this together. We went all the way to the back, and this is where we finished. And then I gave the students about 20 minutes to write their own, hold on. Like I was saying, I gave the students about 20 minutes so they can write their own second body paragraph. But I did give them an idea for how to start their paragraph. I started it with, but that's not the only way. They are different. Let's take a look at how these gliders actually work. So this whole paragraph talks about how the paraglider and the hang glider work and how they work in different ways. So I actually wrote my paragraph all the way to almost the bottom of the 3rd page, and they only get 3 pages to write. And then when time was up, we wrote the conclusion together. So we together, and also them on their own, because they had to write the introduction on their own and the second body paragraph on their own, we wrote an entire essay in like 2-3 days. So I'm very happy with this, and I hope that tomorrow when they take their timed informative essay practice test, this is the last time practice test that we're going to do, I hope they do a good job. So along with that, the students also have an informative essay that they've been working on all week for homework, and tomorrow they need to turn it in completed. They are writing about different ways that kids are helping others. So they have to write a problem and solution essay. They need to state the problem, how the kids solved it, and then as a second part to the prompt, they have to explain what kids can learn from these other kids on how they can help others. So that is due tomorrow. So it's been an informative essay week, and next week will be our writing camp where I'm going to be doing both informative and opinion writing as a last week review before we go on spring break. And then of course the test is on April 3rd. All right, so that's all I have for you for today. Now I'm going to take you on to Friday. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Friday. So it's already an interesting Friday. My makeup is not on yet, and I don't think I'm gonna put it on until tonight when I have an event that I'll share with you in a moment, because I actually ended up leaving my house later than usual. I was finishing packing a suitcase because this weekend I'm going to the Impact Driven Teaching Conference that is being sponsored and hosted by Genius Plaza. And a lot of us teacher tubers are going to be there. So I'm obviously staying at the hotel. It's here in Miami Beach. So I was packing my suitcase and I had to switch suitcases. And then my mom told me that she would take my son to school for me so I wouldn't have to stress over trying to finish everything and get ready to head out the door. So thank you so much, Mom, for taking my son to school today. That was awesome. But traffic was crazy this morning. I usually don't leave at that time. I actually left an hour later than I would usually if I had to bring my son to school, but that happened. And now that I got to school, it's like maybe 7-10 minutes before the kids come in. So I have to finish setting things up for them because they're going to be taking a timed writing test this morning, like I mentioned yesterday. And I just noticed I did not bring the other pies with me. In all the frenzy of packing my suitcase and getting everything in the car that I think I needed for this weekend, I just got to the classroom and I saw the apple pies that I left here. So I do have the apple pies, but I don't have the chocolate or the key lime pie. And I don't know if everyone will eat those apple pies. So I don't know what to do. I'm in a dilemma. I mean, I don't want my mom to have to come out in the rain because it's a rainy day here in Miami and bring them to me. So... or maybe they should just eat apple pie. I don't know. I'll let you know what happens. But I am taking a half a day today. I'm leaving at 11:30. So I need to leave set plans and split my class up in case they need to be split up. So we'll see what happens. All right. So let me get my morning started and I'll check back with you later. All right, so the students just finished taking their last writing practice test and they're getting ready to eat some apple pie. So I'm gonna show you the pie and then I'm gonna call them up because they're looking at me with hungry faces. And then after that, they go to lunch. So it's like we're celebrating the last writing practice test of the school year. So let me show you the pie. So here is the regular apple pie. And then here is the Dutch apple pie with the crumbles on the top. So they get to choose between this one or this one, and that's what we're gonna do now. So let's dig in. All right, the students have just been split up and I took them to lunch and I told them where to go after lunch. Basically, I gave each group of students that was going to a different teacher a list with their names and the teacher they're going to in the room so that they know where to go. And I also emailed the same list to my team and the teachers that are gonna be taking them in. And I gave them their assignment, which is basically the Go Math Middle of the Year test that they need as a post-test for Ms. Guzman, an assignment that she's doing. And then I gave them a passage for Malala Yousafzai, which I'll show you is something I got from ReadWorks, and it's perfect for women's history. So here we go. This is the passage right here, and it's from ReadWorks. I'll link it down below if you have not heard of ReadWorks. Basically, the passage is included in these 2 pages. It has great text features, and then it's followed up with 10 reading comprehension questions along with short response questions for the students to answer. They were actually very excited when I told them that they will be reading about Malala as one of the assignments that they have to do this afternoon. All right, so now I gotta get all my things together and pack up because I just realized that I left my 2 dresses for tonight's event and for tomorrow's event at home. I had initially planned to go to the hotel straight after work, but now I'm going to have to go home and then to the hotel. So I'm gonna go north to go back south. You know what? Let's just focus on the positives because that's what it's all about. Sometimes in life, really stressful things are gonna happen. Things are not gonna go exactly how you planned them every single time, but just focus on the positives and then you'll get to where you need to go and things will eventually work out. And I'm saying this for myself mostly because I really need to hear it right now. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this 2-day vlog and going along with me on this interesting last 2 days with Pi Day and all the hiccups that have happened after that. But the students did enjoy their pie. They wrote a good essay this morning. They really loved the topic. And that's what it's all about. So if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment down below, let me know what you thought or any questions you may have. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications so you don't miss any future videos. I hope you have a beautiful, magical day, and don't forget to smile. Hello dreamers, wishers, and magical thinkers. Thank you so much for making it to the very end of this video and for showing your support. If you'd like to subscribe, you can do so by clicking on my picture down here. You can also check out my latest videos here and here. Don't forget to believe in the magic that's inside you because you are capable of great things. See you next time.